Hi, I'm Lovely, and today I'm going to review the first episode of the sequel series to the Magnus Archives, the Magnus Protocols. Today's episode is Episode 1, First Shift. Before I get into this review, I would like to give some background information on myself and also explain how these reviews are going to go. Hi, I'm Lovely. I got into TMA back in 2021 when a friend of mine recommended it. I was hooked almost instantly, and have pretty much loved the series ever since. It was really interesting slash fascinating, it was easy to hyperfixate on, and I just found it overall cool. Enough to the point where I even got a Grifter's Bone tattoo. I might be a big fan. Anyway, it was a ton of fun experiencing this series, but I couldn't help but wonder, what would the series have been like if I was actually there as the episodes were coming out? What were people's theories? What was the fandom's reaction when X happened? And well, it's 2024 now, and I'm really happy to say that I could see that now with this series, the Magnus Protocols. Now, being truthful, I don't think I'll interact too much with the fandom. It's not really my cup of tea, but I could at least share my thoughts and theories here in these videos. For TMA, I wrote reviews for every single episode. Not just once, but twice when I re-listened to all of them. And well, I kind of want to do the same here. Maybe not re-listen, but I love the idea of reviewing every episode, capturing my experience with this series. I hope you enjoy the ride. Anyway, let's go into how I'll do these reviews. So, if I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be consistent. Sometimes a review will be super in-depth, like, oh, what was the meaning of this? What was that about? What was this line? Etc., etc. But sometimes a review might be like, well, I liked it, or I didn't like it that much, actually. And sometimes that'll be that. It's gonna depend on the episode, but I wanted to let you know now, because sometimes, I don't want to just force like a 10-minute video or however long. I'm basically just gonna talk as long as I want about it, and that's kind of gonna be that. Um, yeah, so should we get into this? I'm really excited. One, I should say spoilers for the Magnus Archives, and well, spoilers for the episode. So I am part of the Kickstarter program, so I am getting these episodes early. I am not sure when I could release these videos. Um, I'm not sure if I have to wait until it's publicly released. I have no idea. I'm gonna do that for this first episode and probably second one. Um, but I think it'll be fun to release these at even if it's early, right? I have no idea. We're gonna find out in the future. we're gonna find out. But no, I've listened to this episode a few times already. One when it came out, and well, once what was it? So I'm gonna assume a lot of people might be part of the program. I'm not sure, but we get the episodes I think a couple days earlier than everybody else before it goes on Spotify. But we got a preview of this episode months back, like I think back in October. So I've had time to kind of digest this and everything. But no, I'm gonna go over my initial thoughts and just how I feel now about it. Um, but yeah, let's talk about it. I think I'm ready. Are you guys ready? God. Okay, so first shift. Honestly, I liked it, but it was a bit tough. It was a bit tough. Um, I think the beginning of this episode is very overwhelming. Enough to the point where it kind of hurts it. Like, I'm being introduced to all these characters. I barely know where we are. I don't know everybody's relationship, and it's a lot for me. It's a lot. Um, and if you're confused in audio, when you're listening to something just audio, like for example, an audio drama or a podcast like this, at least for me, it's really, really, really easy to lose focus and to just almost not be invested and or care. Um, that being said, that's the first half of this episode. The second half, though, once I started to take notes, once I started to write down the character names and all that kind of stuff, I got really into it, and honestly, I love it. This is an episode that I think will be appreciated way down the line. I like it, but it is a lot. It is a lot. But no, let's talk about the cast. I really like the cast. Let's talk about let's see every character. We have Alice, we have Teddy, which Teddy's there for only a little bit. Teddy's the person that leaves at the beginning. I completely forgot about them once I finished the episode. But no, I've looked at the transcript a couple times, and there's still a lot of details that I'm not going to get. There's still a lot of that. But I want to say I do understand the dynamic right now. Alice, she's kind of like the Joker. Kind of like, I don't want to say slacker, but kind of, you know? Colin is what appears to be the paranoid type. Been there for a little bit. As you can see, the end of the episode. Suspicious. Very suspicious of the computers, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I should say, by the way, again, I've only listened to this a couple times. There are going to be details that I just don't catch, or that I misunderstand. So apologies if that happens, because that's probably going to happen a lot. So yeah, again, sorry if that happens. But no, we have, I think her name, I think it's pronounced Lena? I'm not sure, but she's in charge of this place. Is acronym the right word? There's like a 4-letter thing, which let me actually look it up real quick because I don't think we actually know the meaning of it just yet. I believe it starts with an O. Here it is. Yes. So we have the OIAR. OIAR. And I don't think we know what that means. Again, even though I just said it, I should say there will be things obvious, like completely obvious, that will just go completely over my head. I can only apologize so much. We have Gwendolyn, which she's pretty cool. If I don't get the pronouns right for the characters, by the way, let me know. I think I know them, but if I don't, just let me know. But no, Gwendolyn. Again, I love this cast already. I'm very excited to see where this is gonna go because everything is already really well defined. I should say, if you haven't noticed by now, my reviews are gonna kind of be all over the place. I hope that isn't too difficult to follow, but I'll try my best to make it like easy to understand. But no, I love Gwen. They seem like a hard worker, kind of stick to the rules. I'm excited for this. I'm excited. We have Sam, the newcomer to like this place. I just went over what the place called. I forget what they call it. I don't know if there's a different name other than the OIAR. But no, they're new to this place, and interesting. Again, everybody is so well defined, and I'm really, really, really excited to see where this goes. I don't plan on, or at least I don't plan on it. I don't want to compare this cast of characters to the other characters. Like, for example, Colin, he's kind of paranoid. He's kind of pissy. You could say that he's giving Tim. That being said, do I think he's like a Kim type or Kim like substitute? Did I say Kim? Tim. A Tim substitute? No, I think these characters will be their own characters, so I don't want to compare them too much. Like, I don't see any of these people as a Martin. I don't see any of these people as maybe a Sasha or something like that. I think these characters are going to be their own thing, and I think they're already written very excellently. They're really good. But no, I like this group of characters, and this setting is very intriguing already. Let's talk about the computers and the voices on there. I don't know if you recognize them. But no, I believe they said there are 3 computer voices, and the 2 voices we've heard so far are Norris and Chester. I believe Norris is Alex J. Newell. That is Martin. And then we have Chester, which is John. It has not been revealed yet who the 3rd voice is. My first thought was, oh, Elias, duh, or Jonah, you know? That was my first thought. But I believe the voice actor has been revealed to be not that voice actor, so who's to say? I didn't confirm that. A friend of mine just told me, and I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with it. But interesting start. Really, we just get introduced to this place. We see like it's another kind of archival thing. We're looking at all these statements, and we actually get a couple statements this episode. The first one, super simple. There really isn't much to comment on, and it's kind of like just an example statement. Like, hey, we're getting back into it. This isn't too big. It's kind of just chill. And yeah, it was. There wasn't really too much to say, but let's talk about the second one. The second one was really good, and that was my favorite part of the episode. Um, when Chester was speaking, I was really intrigued by that storyline with the forum posts and just going into the Magnus Institute, which burned down. Correct me if I'm wrong. So my impression is this isn't. I want to say this part here isn't theories. This is confirmed. I believe when they announced the series, they actually said this was like the premise. But I believe we are in a different universe where the Magnus Institute burned down. I think in maybe 2001, 1999, something like that. And yeah, I believe that's the current premise. But no, I think it was really fascinating to see this person basically spelunk, is that the right word? Go down into the institute and just like look around stuff. Um, it was interesting to follow. A couple things that were established is I believe the statements aren't there. Like there was a comment where someone said, or where the person said that, yeah, you would think there'd be a bunch of papers around, but there's none. So I believe there wasn't even ash. I could be wrong, but I presume that somebody took the statements. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding it. Either way, I'm intrigued. Either way, um, but no, the way that story is told, it really gets you into it. It really, really does. I should say, by the way, I forgot to comment on it. The intro for this series, the music, the score is beautiful. It is chilling. It is badass, and specifically talking about the intro, it is evil sounding. Very evil sounding, and I am a big fan of it. Genuinely, I can't wait for. I could be wrong, but I think the soundtrack to the series is going to be released at some point. I am not 100% sure. I can't forget. They said a lot of details without spoiling the story, and I gotta say, that's really impressive, so thank you. Um, but no, I really like the music. I really do. Goddamn. And I already like the music in TMA, but this is gonna go hard, and I think this music will be even more than TMA. I'll do my best to not compare the series, but that's gonna be hard to avoid, and I apologize. um, but no, as the first episode, I think it's really good. I think it sets up the stage. I think the characters are really defined. The only like downside to this episode is the fact that it might be overwhelming for some people. I don't know if I could say a lot of people. I don't know how people will react, but I know for me and my friends who have watched it or listened to it, it was a bit much for us. That being said, I love this, and I'm really excited to get into more. Um, I should have the review for episode 2 up, I think, pretty soon. I can't remember if these episodes are being released at the same time. I'll say this, not to break the illusion, I have already listened to the second episode. I will not say any spoilers, so do not worry. Um, but yeah, for the most part, those are my thoughts on this first episode of the series. Maybe at some point I'll give my thoughts on TMA as a whole. Maybe in one of these videos, I could show all of my reviews. Because that would be pretty fun. That would be pretty fun. Um, but no, let me look at my notes because I do have a few notes here, just in case. because there's a lot. Again, no secret, there is a lot in this first episode. They weren't joking around. Let's see. Let me check my notes. So, they're it's tough. My notes are very, let's just say, written in the moment. They might not make too much sense. No. There were what is it? I think there was a wooden box or something like that. Um, I don't think wooden, but there was a box of some sort when the person was in the Magnus archives looking around. There were also symbols apparently. I don't know if they're important. I don't know if they're gonna get super specific as to what those symbols are. I don't know. When they said the empty box, first thing I thought of was like the table or something like that. I don't remember their exact words, but I wonder how many. I wonder how much there's gonna be. Um, I wonder how much of this is gonna be related to TMA stuff that we already know. Like, yes, this is a new universe, but maybe maybe we find a coffin at some point. Maybe we see this. I don't know. But I do believe that is supposed to be a moment or a thing of note to notice. I hope that made sense. I'm recording this at 2 a.m. I am very tired. Um, Other thing to notice, Gwen, her last name is Bouchard. Interesting. That probably doesn't matter. um, but no. Another thing I'm going to say is I think a lot of the dialogue, and I think I said this earlier, a lot of the dialogue at the beginning of the episode, with everybody talking, all the words they use, I think the lines there are super, super specific. And I think once the series finishes, that things will mean it'll be very obvious as to what things meant, like when it comes to foreshadowing and stuff. I want to break it down, but if I'm being honest, I don't have the energy to do that right now. um, but no, I think there's a lot of foreshadowing happening in this. I think there's just a lot of solid writing moments, and yeah, overall I loved it. Thank you for listening to this review. Thank you for listening to me basically ramble. Um, I hope I hope any of this made sense. I hope any of this made sense. But no, thank you for watching. Genuinely, for real, thank you for watching. Um, yeah, I'm Lovely. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.